there's this quote I recently heard, or it's not really like a quote, it's just something that I heard some guy say on like a YouTube video or a podcast, but it was, the more bored you are, the less boring you become. It was like a really interesting sentence which I wanted to make this video on because I've recently had thoughts which were pretty similar to that sentence, but this really like put my recent thoughts that I had in just like this one neat sentence, right? Essentially what I was thinking about very, a lot these last few days, weeks even, was how dopamine detox could be beneficial to your social skills. If you don't know what a dopamine detox is, it's essentially removing all of the habits which bring you instant dopamine, instant pleasure, like video games, social media, anime, alcohol, drugs, whatever, and living this more kind of healthy life with habits which are kind of perceived as being boring, but they give you delayed gratification. Stuff like cold showers, going to the gym, reading books, exercising, running, walking, whatever. And I was really trying to find a connection between the dopamine detox because I just felt like there was a connection between being on a dopamine detox and being more social, having more confidence, being able to speak to people better and everything. And this sentence kind of perfectly encapsulates, because essentially what the more bored you are, the less boring you become means is the more time that you spend at home doing low dopamine activities, and the more kind of your dopamine baseline, or just the baseline of how you're generally feeling, how motivated you are, and how happy you are in today, the more that the baseline goes up, and the more that you generally just feel better and more motivated, naturally, the more confident and the more social you're gonna be. Because imagine this. Imagine you have two scenarios, right? You have guy number one and guy number two. Guy number one just finished watching Breaking Bad, let's say, or like a really good show. Just finished watching it, watched the ending. His dopamine is like shook because the ending is so good, like it's been spiked. At the same time, he's been smoking weed, he's been eating a bunch of junk food, and right after watching the show, he then ended up scrolling on TikTok for an hour, and then he ended up going out to town. Guy number two, let's say for the last 3 days, was just living a very low dopamine life. He would spend 3 to 4 hours a day reading his book. He would spend like 2 to 3 hours exercising. He would spend a lot of time meditating. He would spend a lot of time just kind of standing or sitting in his room alone, just kind of thinking, very low dopamine. And both of those guys went to town, right? Who do you think would have more fun? The guy number one, whose dopamine is spiked right now, or guy number two, whose dopamine is very kind of calm, relaxed, he's not had anything fun going on in his life for the past few days? Who do you think? Of course, it's gonna be guy number two. And not only is he gonna have more fun because his dopamine is at a lower kind of, or his dopamine baseline is higher, but the required amount of dopamine in order to like make him feel good, make him have fun, is a lot less than for guy number one. Guy number one, in order to beat like the dopamine spikes, the amount of fun he's had so far with the show and the scrolling and the drugs, he would need to experience something crazy, right? I don't even know what he would have to experience to have even more fun. Guy number two, literally just by going out for a walk and just looking at the horizon, he would feel great, like he would be having fun because his dopamine is so low. Just drinking a cup of coffee would be like the most enjoyable experience ever. And with that, guy number one would just be lacking dopamine. He'd be lacking motivation to speak to anyone. You can imagine he would go to town, he wouldn't be having fun, he would be kind of tired, he wouldn't want to speak to anyone, he wouldn't be confident, and when he would see a group of attractive girls, he wouldn't care about speaking to them. When he would see a group of guys who are maybe looking interesting, who maybe you could talk to, he wouldn't feel like talking to them. He would just kind of sit in his seat, kind of be bored, kind of want to go home, tired, not motivated, not having fun. Guy number two would be having the best time ever. He would see a group of girls, he would instantly go speak to them. Not even just because he wants to get their number and take them home and whatever, but simply because going and speaking to someone is so much more fun than what he's been doing for the last few days. Just going and having a conversation. And because of the fact that puts him in that kind of mind state, that also makes him a lot less needy. So when he goes to walk up to the girls, he's not gonna be stressing about whether she's gonna like him or not. He's just going to speak to them because it's fun speaking to them. He's gonna gain that extra confidence, gonna gain that extra charisma. He's gonna go speak to them. He's gonna go speak to the guys. He's gonna go speak to everyone, have a lot of fun, have a big grin on his face for the entire night because he's enjoying every single second of it. Because his dopamine has been so like kind of calm and low for the last few days. This is what I want you to kind of understand from this point of the video, is to try to kind of like a dopamine detox, or at least lower the amount of dopamine that you get in the day. Kind of try to delay gratification and try going out into town after, like, for example, 2 days of no scrolling, no video games, no anime, just being bored. Just bored max, be bored as hell, just literally go for like 5-hour walks, then read books for like 5 hours, then just like stare at your wall and do nothing like a maniac for like 2 hours, and then just sleep. Do like absolutely nothing fun, and then go out to town after like 2-3 days. You will notice that you are so much more charismatic, you're so much more confident, because you're literally just like rushing. You can't wait to go speak to someone, speak to some girl, speak to some guy, cold approach, do something social, do whatever, just because you've been so bored that now everything is fun, everything is motivating, and you just have confidence to do everything socially related. Just drinking a cup of coffee, you'll notice, will be super enjoyable. Just looking at the horizon will be insanely, you'll feel like it's insanely beautiful. So that's just something to try. Those were kind of my thoughts that I've had recently. That's why I made this video. I hope this helps you, and if you want to learn more from me, hop on a call with me. You can check out first link in the description, book a call, join my community. If you find this video helpful, I think you'll find a lot of value in this one. Click on the subscribe button and do the work.